Today we're going to focus on function rules, meaning that we're going to focus on what's called function notation, okay? So it's how are you going to represent something shorthand. This is right. So last year, you guys spent a lot of time focusing on doing it in the calculator. We're going to focus on doing it by paper, by hand, working it out, okay? The reason why is because you guys are juniors and seniors, and there are tests that you have to take that do not allow a calculator. So if you are that dependent on a calculator, what's going to happen?
So we don't need a calculator.
You're going to fail those tests, right? So we're going to have to learn how to do things without the calculator. A calculator is a tool for us to check our work, right? It's not supposed to always give us the answers, but it's a tool to check our work. All right, so here we're going to go.
College.
There's professors that do not allow calculators. For free. So, starting off with this problem, we have the given function f of x equals 3x plus 4 times x plus 1. Okay? That's a pretty lengthy function, right? On our example A, it says it wants us to find the value of f of negative 2. This is called function notation. You can. That is called function notation. So because it says f of negative 2, we know that it is function notation. Okay? Can anyone remember what function notation is telling us to do? We're gonna, before we solve, we're gonna do what? Plug it in. Good job. Okay? So before we solve, we're going to plug in for x. So step 1 is to plug in for x. So what am I plugging in for x?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So wherever there is an x at in my function, I'm going to put a negative 2. So that's 2 locations, right? So there's 2 locations where I'm going to put a negative 2. So we have 3 times negative 2. Huh? Plus 4 times negative 2. Is it minus plus 1?
It's plus 1.
Plus 1. Step 1. Done. What are your questions about step 1? Could you do step 1 on your own?
I think so.
Yes.
No.
It's about easy? Different kind of English? Alright?
Too old for that.
It's about easy. That's how it's called.
Alright. So after we do that, then you're going to use PEMDAS. So step 2 is to use PEMDAS.
Oh, I remember that.
Exponents.
Excuse my dear Auntie.
What does PEMDAS stand for? Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide.
Add, subtract.
That is called your order of operations, right? So it's the order you solve. Yes?
Yes.
So, our first thing is to focus on our parentheses. Can we simplify our parentheses?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Are we on YouTube again?
You are. What's 3 times negative 2?
Negative 6.
Negative 6.
I got this smart.
Oh, no.
No. You don't charge your computer, man?
You got a what in your
Who
file?
does that?
I got a straight B.
Well, let's get through the notes. I don't want you to get behind.
Okay.
So, we have negative 6
I got the answer.
plus, and then what happens to this? What happens with these parentheses? Negative 2 plus 1 is what? Negative what? Negative 1. Okay? I handle my parentheses a little bit. So, keep going with PEMDAS.
Yes.
My next thing is to multiply, right? What is 4 times negative 1? I heard someone?
Negative 4.
I heard more people. Good job. So now I'm down to, is there anything else to deal with parentheses, multiply, or divide? Nope. So we're on to AS. Adding.
Negative 10.
So what is negative 6 and negative 4 make? What kind of 10?
Positive or positive?
A negative 10. If you owe me
A
$6
negative added.
and then you're like, hey,
I'm thinking
let me borrow another 4. You now owe me what? $10, and I want my
I'm
$10
thinking
back.
multiplication.
And that's what I got too.
Alright, so this is called function notation. So when you're done, at the end, to write it, we would write f of -2 equals -10. Boom.
That's our answer.
That's our answer.
No, that's the answer.
How do we feel?
It's like $1,000,000.
Is that doable?
Super dumb.
Why?
You beat up
Because I'm not as smart as you.
I'm way older than you, so.
No, you're not. No.
So,
If you're older, so you shouldn't be in high school.
I'm not here
what
to
are your
learn.
steps? Any questions about the two things? We plug in, we PIMDOS. We plug in, we PIMDOS.
I got my degree.
Are we good with that?
He said he got it.
Yes? Alright, so that is what we do when our x is given. Alright? If we look at B, did they tell us what our x was? No. What do they want us to do?
Find the value when x is 39.
They we have to find x. So we have to find x, which means that we have to set our function equal to, and we're going to do inverse operations. Inverse operations means we're going to do opposite. So in order to get x by itself. So our steps here. One, we're going to set the function equal to.
Come on, Mike. He's mad at you, bro.
So when I set it equal to, what is it? 3, 2? Is it a 2? I don't see it. No one's going to tell me?
Now,
I'll do it myself.
what you say? What you say? What you say?
I asked what I would need to write, but no one answered me. So 3x plus 4 times x plus 1
Because we too busy
equals 39.
That's the function.
So if it says f of x equals 39, I literally am going to say, what is f of x? And I set it equal to 39.
Oh. I was just trying to.
They was about to beat you up. You want me to help you?
Alright, so step 1, is there any questions about setting it up? Are we okay with the setup?
Yes, I'm okay with the setup.
Huh? We are about to. You just jumped ahead of my next step, sir. We're about to. Easy killer. Alright, so then your next step is to simplify. Simplify means you want to make it as small as you can, right?
Reduce it.
I want to make this whole 3x plus 4 times 4x plus 1 as small as I can. So your next goal is to simplify.
Unless you gotta do whatever. No.
Required, little boy.
Okay? So when you're simplifying, that means you're getting rid of parentheses and combining like terms, right? I remove parentheses and I combine like terms. What is that process called when you are removing parentheses? Starts with the D. Distribute.
Divide.
Perfect.
Distribute.
You distribute. I call this Oprah property, but I don't think you guys ever watched Oprah. You know, Oprah used to have a show, and on her show, at the end of the show, she would give prizes to everyone in the audience.
It's like in the 60s.
So if you were one of those lucky guest days, she would give cards away. She's like, you get a car, and you get a car. You all get cards. Okay? That's how the distribution property works.
Must be
So
nice.
distribution is you get a 4, you get a 4, you all get 4s. Okay? So when I distribute, it becomes 3x plus 4x plus 4, because 4 times 1
Oh,
is
yeah,
4, equals 39. And then I combine like terms. What are my like terms?
Can't just put this in the
3x
earth
plus
salt.
4x, so 7.
3x and 4x is?
7x.
You won't.
You simplified.
And now I've made it small, right? Any questions about simplifying?
What is simplify?
People gonna have to go over this a little bit more.
Yes, ma'am, we should.
Oh no, right now ask me a question, then Jay.
What does simplify mean?
I know what it is. Well, I get mixed up on why you have to give 4x. Why did you put the blue lines like that?
Why did I distribute?
Yes.
Because I need to eliminate parentheses. And parentheses is called implied multiplication. So since there's more than one thing inside the parentheses, I have to multiply more than one time. So I do 4 times x and 4 times 1. Good question. Did that help a little bit?
Yes.
All right.
So where you get 39 from?
It gave it to
39.
us. Are you being for real?
39.
Oh, I was like, it gave it to
You
us.
being for real?
It says f of x equals 39.
That's
Dumb,
something.
slow person.
You being for real?
All right, last step is to solve x. So we're going to isolate our x.
Because you asked me that one ago.
So we got to get x all by its lonesome. Let me zoom in. Now, if you can't see this,
You need some
I don't know what to tell you.
What's that called? Bottle glasses. Bottle.
If you can't see
Bifocals?
that,
Bifocals.
bifocal?
She said bofo.
Bifocals.
I thought she said bottle.
Oh, right. Here
I
we
did say
go.
bottle glasses.
Let me go back to English 1.
Shut up.
All right, so isolating X means you're going to do inverse operations. So think about you are trying to break into a bank, right? When you break into a bank, there's two lines of defense usually, right? First is the security, the furthest away from the vault.
We don't know this. We never broke into a bank.
You've watched movies. You've
Set it
watched
off.
movies. You've watched bank movies. The first line of defense is the security officer, right? They're the furthest from the vault. Agreed? So our furthest from our vault, which is X,
You
is
gotta
what?
check out the security.
I gotta take out security. What's my security?
X.
The 4.
A 4. Like,
You talking to X, so that's why I said X.
I need to get to the X, but before I can get
Oh.
there, I gotta get through
oh, you
who?
gonna go back to your X.
The
4.
4. Okay? How do I get rid of that 4? I subtract it. I'm gonna knock it out. Boom, gone. And when I do one side, I do to
To
the
the other.
other side. So I'm left with 7x equals 35.
So X is 5.
I'm now at the vault. So now I gotta break through the code. How do I get rid of
X is
7
5.
times x? I divide.
X is 5.
X is 5. I already called it.
We're getting there.
No,
I
I
already
already
knew
called
that.
it. We already got the money. We done. I already called it.
So x equals
5.
5.
And then, I'm just kidding.
Okay? So since we're focused on function notation, so right as function notation, we write f of 5
Opposite operation.
equals 39. And you're done.
It's called opposite operation.
Alright, so we're doing this one.
Inverse operations, I think is Jalen's
You just
word
said-
you were looking for. The opposite operations.
Alright.
That's what Jalen said.
Alright.
It's not called opposite.
No, it's called
Well,
inverse
the inverse
operations.
mean opposite. So he is right.
And to a degree, we'll take it.
In middle school, I learned opposite operation.
Okay.
Double
We'll take it.
All
Alright, are we ready to try
On the home?
the we do? Okay, so the we do, in your group, you're going to work on A. Only 2A in your groups. Do not do 2B yet. You're going to do 2A. What did I say?
2A.
To be.
I didn't.
To be alone.
Huh? Well, make sure your group person also knows what they're doing.
Me and Jamie got this.
Okay? So, you guys are working on 2A. If your group struggles, that's when you call upon
Me. You call
Ray.
Upon, you call upon
You're
Eddie.
going to call upon Ray.
You call up on the name Jesus.
What is wrong with this class? All right.
She was recording the whole
Wait,
time.
if I write an
You got it,
answer
right?
to it, if it's
So, step 1 is to plug in. So, the first thing you should have done is plug in for X. So, wherever X is, what should you have put?
3.
3. So, I have -2 times 3 minus 4 times 3 minus 1. How do we do on step 1?
You did good.
If you did nothing else,
No,
you should have done step 1.
I did the whatever. What's the second step?
PIMDOS.
Whatever that
Numbers.
is.
And you get 6.
I
negative
multiplied that
minus
negative
4.
6
Okay.
minus 4, and I got mixed up.
Alright. So, on PIMDOS, we start from the left to the
6. Right.
right.
So
So, I have
negative 6.
-2 times 3 is
Negative 6.
-6
Negative
minus 4
Negative 4
times
2.
2.
And then.
First part of PIMDOS, then I multiply, right?
Yep. So it's
So -4 times 2 is
negative 8.
Yeah, this is fine.
What?
-8. 4 times 2 is 8.
Then you get negative 14, and boom, that's your answer.
Wow. Negative 14.
So f of 3,
Where
Equal.
is that coming from?
-14.
What?
What?
Negative 14.
If you owe me $6, and then you're like, hey, let me borrow another 8.
Okay.
How much do you owe me?
14.
14.
Oh, look at you.
Okay, or think about a bank account. If you have -$6 in your bank account, and then another transaction goes through for $8, you now have -$14.
First of all,
All right, on the second one, I put Jesus.
You weren't supposed to do the second one. You should have got through the first
You
one.
put Jesus Christ, Luke.
What?
You gonna fail.
All right, here we go. So the second one. Did anyone get started?
Yeah, I did.
You finished it?
Finished it.
All right, you got a finisher. Anyone else finished? You wrote Jesus.
Yeah, it's finished.
Okay. All right, so the step 1 is you set the function equal to what they gave you. So what did they give us?
Negative 17.
Negative 17. So it should be negative 2x minus 4 times x minus 1 equals negative 17. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to simplify, right? That means you got to get rid of parentheses and combine like terms. Get rid of parentheses and combine like terms. So I simplify. How do I get rid of my parentheses? What's the D word?
Distribute.
Distribute.
The negative 2x.
So I gotta distribute.
D word.
I get negative 2x minus 4x plus 4 equals negative 17. Because a negative times a negative is a positive. So negative 4 times negative 1.
Equals negative 12.
Okay? Then I combine like terms. What are my like terms that can be combined? What are-
Negative 4 and negative x, negative 4x and negative 2.
This one and that one. So it's negative 2x plus negative 4x.
Negative 6.
Negative 6x. So I have negative 6x plus 4 equals negative 17. Am I fully simplified?
No.
No.
What else can I combine?
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am.
You are, I see that.
All right.
I was done with it.
So then step 3 is to solve for x. Break into the bank. What's my first line of defense?
You gotta
Plus
subtract
4.
I gotta subtract 4. I gotta knock that security out.
Yeah, I go hard.
Boom.
It's gonna be.
And that leaves me with negative 6x equals negative 21.
I was right the whole time.
What?
I'm gonna zoom in just so that to make sure that all my blind people can see.
Yeah, like me.
Hey.
How are you blind with those glasses on?
She said those
You said those people.
glasses.
Ah!
Let's.
Those glasses are
It keeps sliding. My bad. I'm not doing it.
Slide to the left.
Ooh.
Slide to the right.
All right. What's my next thing I gotta do?
You're supposed to keep saying
Divide by what?
6.
What kind of 6?
Plus.
A negative 6. So I divide.
Wait.
I get through the vault.
Oh.
My x is by itself. And I'm left with,
3 and 3.
I can either write it as,
3.5.
you say 3.5. That's an option. What is it as a fraction?
3 over 5. 3 over.
Anyone?
negative 27.
What? What? You divided.
Ah! Where did she come from? Wow!
Oh, what?
I can divide it. I can divide each one of these numbers by 3, right?
Yeah. 7 over 2.
There we go.
7 over 2.
So 21 divided by 3 is 7. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So my exact value is 6 half, or my decimal, which is also exact, is 3.5. Because we have $7 and divided between 2 people, we
So the
each
back is
get
homework.
$3.50. Okay, how do we feel? No, it's first our notes.
All right, we're done for the day.
Okay? We are not.
You work to the bell.
Thanks.
We ain't ready to
So,
the bed.
F of x and then F of 7 halves equals negative 17. That would be my function notation.
Can you start recording this?
Nope.
It's weird.
I'm feeling like my embarrassing laugh is on there.
It is.
Man, you look ugly, bro. Like,
All right. Okay, so we're going to flip over. Any questions about the front? A lot of learning took place. Jalen?
Yes.
Jalen. If anyone thinks that is me, Jalen, hand me the phone. Jalen, hand me this phone. Look on the back, guys. It's going to show you other ways to do what we did on the front. So you remember how on the front it had it in function notation where it says this is your x, solve for this. This means the same thing, but it's not written in function notation.
Yes, it is.
Okay? It's written using coordinates. So I'm given my x, but I have to solve for the
Why?
y, which is what we were doing before, right? So I'm still going to plug in, simplify. Plug in, simplify.
Can't you plug in that
So-
into a graph?
We are non-graphic. What are you not understanding that's taking place in your
Hey
kids?
man, look. I'm going through it a lot.
All right, so Minion brought up a good point. If I have 5x plus 4x minus 6, could I simplify that before I plug in?
Yeah.
Yes, because I have like terms. What do they simplify to?
9x minus 6.
9x minus 6. So I have 9x minus 6. So instead of having to plug in x multiple times, I only have to plug in x how many times? Once. So to find 10, where x is, I'm plugging in a 9 times 10. And what's 9 times 10?
90 minus 6 is 84.
So I get 90 minus 6, which equals, so what goes in my blank?
84.
84.
I'm gonna lose with these money.
How do we feel?
Like $1 million bucks.
Easy? How do we feel about plugging in x? Good?
Good, man.
Like for real?
My hunt done.
Alright, so then let's do our last one for the day. So we're going to do this part. So this time, do I have x?
No.
No, I got to find x, but it gives me my
Why?
y. So I'm going to plug in. We've already simplified this. And what did we simplify this down to?
9x minus 6.
9x minus 6. So this time, instead of plugging in for x, I'm plugging in for y. So where y is, I'm putting a what? Where y is, I'm putting a 12. So we get 12 equals 9x minus 6. I got to break into that vault to get to x. So what's my first line of defense? So how do I get rid of that minus 6? It's already minus, so I'm going to add it.
So you have 15 years?
So you put money into the vault.
I'm breaking
No,
down.
she's breaking it
I'm
down.
breaking into it. I need to get in. And that gives me, what's 12 plus 6?
18.
18 equals 9x. I'm almost there. I gotta,
Divide.
there we go.
18.
And I divide, and so x has to be,
2.
boom.
I said it before she even saw it. You just mad at your brain.
How do we feel? So, we've done it now 3 times. Can you plug in for x and solve for y? Can you plug in for y and solve for x?
Yes.
Feel pretty good about it? All right, so we're not done with it, so it's going to go in your folder, but when we are done, this is going to be page 6.
All right, Miss, now can you sign my thingy?